Do I look more relaxed?
Don't be getting your
I'm just trying to get my
professional voice on. I need Marche.
Gracie made up that.
You remember Marche?
Welcome to Diva Court, episode number 2. Today, guess what, people? That means we weren't cut. That means we're back.
We weren't
and
cut.
we didn't say anything crazy enough
The
to be blocked. Well, it's not the FDIC, but at least Spotify and Spotify and
YouTube.
Apple and YouTube did not think we were inappropriate. So we're still here. So stay tuned. Now, look, you make sure you record these because there might come a day where they cut us off because we're giving you information that you got to have, but we're going to give it to you with the funny. Remember, this is edutainment.
Marche is in the building.
Hey.
Last week y'all got Marsha.
And this week you're going to get Marche. Okay. All right. Today, the number one topic of the week is the Ahmaud Arbery prosecution change. So, Ahmaud Arbery does not have the same prosecutor. Where are we going?
Where the money reside. He can't be there anymore. Like, if I'm not mistaken, the person that he was under lost the election, correct?
Yes. Okay. His previous boss lost her job. She was appointed by the governor, and then an election came up right after she was appointed, and then she lost. So there's now a male prosecutor running the Cobb County District Attorney's office, and I guess that young man said, "No thanks. I don't want to work for you. I'm going to go somewhere else."
Okay.
I'm not saying money is not involved. I am certain that it has something to do with I'm getting a better paying job, or I'm going to make more money. Yeah. But the prosecution has changed. Do you think that's going to reduce the opportunity for a conviction in that case?
Because nothing really has started yet, I'm going to hold my opinion on that one because I don't see anything moving. I don't see the moving parts just yet. The defense attorney didn't ask him to come off the case, so I figured that's not a bad thing. You know, if the defense told him to come off the case, then I would be like, I don't know about that. I don't trust it. But since it was his choice, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing.
So do you think that we stand a chance of not getting a conviction since we're switching from a male prosecutor to a female prosecutor? Or do you think that improves the chances of a conviction?
That might improve the case. And
think women do it better?
I'm team female, but I just believe that she might be able to appeal to the emotional side of the case. You know, when telling the story, men tend to be very factual, point A, point B, point C, whereas women can give you a little bit more of an emotional softness.
So let's call it passion, since the law doesn't allow us to use emotion to get convictions.
Emotional softness.
Passion. She's going to be more passionate as a female.
You know who's going to be passionate tonight? Your husband.
The devil is a lie. And so is my co-host. I forgot to introduce us. I'm attorney Marsha Mignon, and this is my co-host.
Just Dana.
Dana Smith. Let me give you the last name so you can find her when you need
please
to.
Don't look for me.
All right, so I really do think that Ahmaud Arbery's case is going down the pipelines. I think we're going to be good. I think there's been some material that released to where dad had some recordings where he's talking to the wife and he's saying, hey, my daughter's got this post of the dead body on the social media. Take it down. I'm not looking good.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And he's talking to the wife. He's also talking to somebody else saying, hey, you know, we're not looking so nice because no good deed goes unpunished. So I don't really think the changing of the prosecution is going to affect the state's ability to get the job done. I think the facts, the evidence, and the videos and what happened afterwards is probably most important. But the Fed said, can we have some? What do you think about the federal civil rights charges?
I think that they are well deserved. They are very well deserved, especially when you are saying, you know, no good deed goes unpunished. I can't wait to find out what's going to happen with the case and whether or not that is going to go into evidence because, you know, you're out here snitching on yourself, which we talked about last week. So I feel like those charges are warranted. It was a modern day lynching. Instead of on horses, we riding up on Ford trucks.
Yeah, we did use one to bounce him and to
Right.
trap him in like a raccoon,
Like a straight animal.
a deer.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to affect it. I think the federal charges are even more serious for them. And I think if the state gets it wrong, the feds will get it right.
That sounds good to me.
So next on the chopping blocks is the Rayshard Brooks. Officer, please, can I have my job back? What do you think?
My answer is sit your ass down.
Several seats or just one?
All of them. Like, why? Why you think you should get your job back? Let's just go over just a little bit.
You want to break it down?
Just a little bit.
Let's take tiny bites.
Just a small bite.
Start with
We're
the
not
small
gonna go
bite.
through the whole thing because this is an older case. But first, you got beat up. You got beat up.
Why are we
people.
focusing on the beat up?
Because you can't even fight. You don't need to be no police
So are you
officer.
trying to say that Rayshard could not have been drunk if he could beat up two cops?
You can't even fight. So instead of
So if I
taking
can beat you while I'm drunk, that means you can't fight?
you can't fight.
What if it meant I am not drunk? Because if I were drunk, I'd be unable to take that taser from you, huh?
Exactly.
But you gunned me in my back.
Well, when you're not drunk, but you allow me to, I'm drunk, but
Right.
you allow me to drive my car off to the side.
Yeah,
Little
so that's a
hypocritical
problem,
to me.
right?
Yeah.
If I'm drunk, too drunk to stay in the drive-through asleep, I'm too drunk to drive to that parking spot over there.
Exactly.
I'm with that.
You
I'm
can't
with that.
ask for your job back. Your manhood has been snatched from you. You pulled out your gun and you shot a man because you got beat up.
Well, my issue is, even a civil employer would say you can't come back to work because I'm not going to allow you. You're just one shooting away from a $27 million Chauvin settlement.
just one
Just
shooting.
one.
Just
one
one
shooting away
One shooting.
from a $27 million. I don't think the city of Atlanta can afford that.
No.
And I don't see them saying you can come back to work. Even if I were a civil employer and I knew there were a risk associated with you coming back to work at my company,
Yeah.
I'm not going to hire you. In fact, that's why we do background checks
Facts.
before we hire people, because we want to know what are the potential risks associated with you working here.
Right.
And it is clear, sir, based on police reform, that is so warranted.
And to add to that, we're not even finished with the case.
That's correct. You still have
Yo,
criminal
you got
charges.
pending charges.
We
You
do.
want to enforce a laws, and more laws, but you got pending charges. Like, are we not even thinking about that?
Yeah. In fact, even when you shoot somebody down and we're investigating, you haven't lost your job. Don't you go on administrative leave?
Administrative leave.
You don't go to work.
That's true.
We don't let you come back and do something more while we're investigating whether your conduct was appropriate or not.
Right.
So why would we give you your job back? I know what it is. Can I have my pension? Can I
get some money?
can I keep my pension?
Go be a security guard if you love the law that much.
Oh, you would
If
hire
you
him?
love the law. Somebody will hire him.
You think so?
Yeah, there's some organizations that would hire him.
Blue Lives Matter.
there's somebody out there who will
Maybe
hire
the
him.
Wendy's, when it rebuilds, would hire him as security. What do you think? Not.
Right. Let me think. The Republican Party will hire
You
him.
think so? What were they making president?
They had done less.
Maybe.
For worse.
Never know. I don't think he's getting his job back. I really don't think he's getting his job back. And I don't think the city
No.
wants that type of reputation.
And who will work with him?
So let me ask you a question. We've had a changing of the guards.
Okay.
Paul Howard is out and
Okay.
Fonnie Willis is in.
Okay.
Do you think she is going to take charge? She tried to give the case away to the state and they said, no thanks. That's your job. And you said you wanted it.
Oh, goodness. I just don't understand why people are so scared to just
Do the right thing.
do the right thing.
Did Spike Lee say that?
Why are we not?
Do the right thing, Spike.
Why are we even running for office? Just like, if you scared, go to church.
That's true.
If you
Preaching.
scared, you can't be, I'm going to fight crime. And then when crime go, oops, got to go. Like, what are we doing?
I say it boils down to training again. But my thing is this. If you are elected district attorney, you ran for the job, you've gotten the job, are you or should you be allowed to say, but I don't want to do this case? I don't want to try this one.
Can I go to my job and tell my boss I can't do my job? You know what? I used to be a paralegal. I'm gonna go to the attorney and be like, I ain't working on this case.
I don't like
I'm not
this
gonna work on this motion. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not. Where do we get you? You were elected to do a job. Now you're telling the people that you pick and choose which charges, which case that you're going to fight. Like, what are we doing? Like,
So what do you think? This is gonna be a plea deal?
I think she should resign. She should resign. If you're hearing this, you should resign because you're not even tough enough. Like, you're not tough on crime. She probably had all these commercials. I'm tough on crime, and she ain't even tough on crime. Resign. Next.
Well, it depends on who the criminal is.
There you go.
She might be tough on crime depending on who the criminal is. Do you think that plays a role?
Justice is blind. That's what I heard in these
Well,
streets.
you know, I've heard justice does a little peekaboo every now and then.
Yeah.
If she looks at who's at the council table, she'll say, what race is that defendant? Okay. You don't think justice peaks?
I think she should resign. Is this thing on?
Is resignation the solution to everything?
I think if you can't do your job, you should resign.
Is that not cancel culture?
No, it's not, because cancel culture is more so like, you did your job, we didn't like it, so we asked you to quit. You telling me I'm not doing what I was hired to do, what I was elected to do, I don't want to do it, can I hand it off to someone? Why are you here?
Point. Facts.
In
evidence. We got to
drink to that. Let's do it.
Woo, do your job.
Whoop, there it is.
Ooh, that's tasty. All right. We are at our segment where we're going to issue the Diva Court rulings of the week. Starting with Sheriff Victor Hill in federal custody last week for civil rights abuse. You want to speak to that?
Yes.
Are you familiar with Sheriff Victor Hill?
What?
Tell the listeners and the viewers, who is Sheriff Victor Hill? Tell them.
Okay, so Sheriff Victor Hill, he is the Clayton County Sheriff, and he has been elected to fulfill his job, which he does. He does his job.
Speaking of doing your job, we just went from Fulton County saying I don't want to do my job
to someone who's
to Clayton County who's doing their job.
Actually doing his
All
job.
right, tell me about your sheriff.
So it seems like every year they are coming after Victor Hill to find something else to stop him from doing his job. And I just think that it's more so political games. It's not because of anything that he has done. I mean, of course, the evidence will come out because this is America. We need to see the evidence. But he is innocent until proven guilty. So I think he's innocent. Even if he was guilty.
Is that politics?
It is.
Politics.
Politricking.
So what she's saying, people, is politics is playing a role with Sheriff Victor Hill. You know what? I concur in this Diva Court.
Oh my gosh. This is for the records. We finally agree.
Put your hands together for the audience.
Let's drink to that.
No, I normally don't concur with my co-host, so that's why she is so excited today. But back to the subject at hand, Victor should not have been charged.
No.
Let me tell you what the indictment says.
Okay.
It says that Sheriff Hill, who had an arrestee, right, who said, I don't feel well, and he did what didn't happen in the Chauvin case. Right. And he believed him. And he said, I'm going to take him to the hospital. So they took him to try to get him treatment, only to realize he was faking and he tried to escape at the hospital.
All the way to escape. Fugitive.
So when they realized and caught him and brought him back to the jail, they decided to restrain him because they were concerned about him trying to escape again.
Yes.
Okay. So Sheriff Hill is allegedly
doing his job
of restraining this inmate and ties him to a chair. And according to the indictment, that he violated his civil rights. Does that sound like a civil rights civil suit?
I just want to know.
Can we use the word civil?
Right.
And then arrest somebody for some criminal stuff?
I just want to know where they do that at, when they arrest you for a civil infraction. In the Derek Chauvin case, they do it there too. They arrest him because of a possible.
Civil.
Yeah.
No, that was murder.
Oh, okay.
Don't get it twisted.
I got it twisted.
Okay?
No,
the
I'm talking about the guy, George Floyd. Was
that's murder.
That was
Yeah.
no.
That's murder and manslaughter. Yeah, that's murder and manslaughter.
I'm talking about the money.
That was against the police department.
But it wasn't an arrestable offense. It's where I'm going. I'm going
That's
somewhere.
correct. We didn't arrest the chief of police.
Exactly.
We didn't arrest him for Chauvin's conduct. In fact, even Victor Hill's situation, they're saying Victor didn't restrain him. His deputies at his command did. I cannot believe that.
I don't believe it either. I just want to say, when I was at the Clayton County Jail, they was treating me nice.
Wait
a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. First of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Wait a minute. When
I was visiting and when I was visiting.
Visit in
and visiting.
Wow.
I was treated nicely. Everything was clean.
Oh my God. Wow.
So, Victor, I'm just saying, if you ever need a character witness, you got me. And I don't even like the police.
Wow. Well, Victor said, I'm not the police, I'm the sheriff.
Well, I don't trust none of them, but I like Victor.
I have not heard that you were visiting and visit in.
You gotta be.
Wow. Okay. Was it in on the tour? You were on the tour on the in?
Yeah, that's what you want to call it. Let's call it that.
Did you inspect the place properly?
I checked it out. It was nice and clean.
Did they restrain you?
Everybody was nice.
Did it restrain you?
I had the leg anklet.
You mean like that? Oh, go ahead. That's what I'm talking about.
Man.
If they have those kind of bows at the Clayton County Sheriff's Department jail, hey, I will visit if they put those ankles on my ankles.
They was heavy.
But yeah, I think the gavel needs to drop. Yeah. The gavel needs to drop
on the federal government.
On the federal government. And they get the Dumas ruling of the week. Feds, I trusted you. I had confidence in you. But you get the Dumas gavel drop ruling for the week.
Time wasting tax.
All right. Next topic is Botham Jean and Miss Amber Geiger seeking an appeal. Now, she is appealing her sentence, the 10 years she got, although she could have gotten 99, that the judge should have sentenced her or the jurors should have changed her charge to a criminal negligent homicide. What's your take?
I just see a white woman in distress, damsel in distress. Oh, I'm going to give out these hugs and love and everything because I know I was wrong. And then you telling me that you run that back. I shouldn't have got 10 years. I should have got 28. I shouldn't have got 10 years. You should give me, I think the sentence is 6 months to 2 years.
Yes.
So all of that love and hugs and kumbaya was all a farce.
So I can't love you and accidentally kill you and go home? That's not how it works.
We going back there? We gonna go back there.
That's not how it works?
No, it don't work like that.
Wow. Are you saying I'm playing victim?
I'm just saying, playing? You playing? Oscar.
I got an Oscar in being
all
a victim?
The Oscar goes too.
Wow. So I can't have 6 months to 2 years instead of 10?
That's setting a whole precedent.
Let me be clear with y'all. I have a Gwinnett County case where a young man got convicted. Young African-American male, 20s, graduate from university when he was 18 years of age. That's how smart this young man was. And he was sentenced to 16 years in state prison for an alleged stealing of an iPad when the alleged victim could not identify him. So, is there disparities in the judicial system?
All day.
Have you ever seen any other defendant get a hug from a judge?
Never.
Amber got one.
And judge.
Didn't work.
It did not work.
She still appealed you.
And she still appeals you. Don't you feel stupid? She should feel stupid.
She said, no, there's nothing wrong with hugs. Judges can show human sides. Have you ever seen a judge show a human side to a defendant?
I saw one try, but he failed. That's another case for another day.
That's going to be episode 3. So stay tuned. She's getting ahead of us.
He failed. But no, it's all a show. And there's no there's no accountability, and that is the problem. Because you took someone's life and you don't feel, as a police officer, none of your training kicked in. You came in, shot up the place, and now you want the system to do for you what you did not do for Jean Botham. I don't know how to pronounce.
How about Botham?
Botham.
Botham.
That's what we're going with. So you want the system to do for you what you didn't give that young man the opportunity to do.
Which is have mercy.
Have mercy. Have some grace. Stop. Why are you in my apartment?
Ask some questions.
Have some questions.
How about shoot first, ask questions later? That was her training.
She already had all her questions.
But that was her training.
She had all her questions. And you know what her answer was? Guilty!
So are you blaming her chief of police? Should he go to jail like Victor?
Yes, he should go to jail too. Because that's what we're going with. Everybody go to jail.
Failing for property. You get arrested. You get arrested. You get arrested.
Go to jail. All the police go to jail.
So what do you think her chances of success are on appeal?
Successful. 100%.
You think she's going to win?
Yeah.
You think that the Court of Appeals is going to overturn her conviction and give her 6 months to 2 to 3 years?
I don't think they're going to overturn her conviction. They might adjust her sentence.
You think they're going to say, this judge had 99 years to hand you. The state wanted 28. The judge gave you 10 and a hug. And you should get 2.
Yes.
Or 6 months.
She's going to get 6 months.
You think she's going to get 6 months?
All day.
I dissent with that ruling. This diva issued a ruling that I cannot concur with. And we will not drink or cheers to that.
I'm going to drink by myself.
Yeah, she's going to have to drink by herself.
Listen, when it happens, she might not get 6 months. But when that sentences get overturned, we coming back.
No ching on that one for me.
I'm going to ching.
No cheers. That's that's a dissent on my end. Okay. All right. So what ruling does Amber Geiger's case get today? The hypocrite.
Yes.
Ruling.
She gets that.
Bang the
sorry,
devil.
Not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, I killed your brother. And I gave you a hug. But I shouldn't be getting these years, though.
Why not?
That's the ruling she gets.
Hypocrite.
All day.
Is the gavel bang on the Amber Geiger. All right. So, moving to our next topic. Mr. Rudy Giuliani and the FBI executing a warrant on his home and office. What do you think they found?
Listen,
I can tell you what they found. Let me tell you.
They
found some dye. But they were looking for the fly and the lie. I'm sorry. Those two were gone. Somebody stormed the Capitol and moved them out.
Listen, there's a lot of stories of how people went from zero to hero. He went in the opposite direction, hero to zero. Man, he let Trump just destroy his whole career.
Took out a nice Walmart pen and said, discount. The low.
It's just gone.
Discounted him and marked him right down to nothing.
Man, they need to be arrested.
Cheap.
His hairstylist.
He went to garage sale. He didn't even go to discount. He went to garage sale level.
You
pulled up in the garage, and how you go to the garage sale and this stuff people don't want anymore.
What am I gonna do with this?
All their junk piled up in the garage, and they're like, "Come over here, we having a garage sale." Now they call it an estate sale.
You know that Trump did not pay him that last check, right?
Are you sure?
I'm dead serious.
It wouldn't be the last check Trump did not pay. There's a lot of checks.
She said, "I ain't paying for this now."
There's a lot of checks that Donald Trump did not pay. In fact, his attorney paid the one to Stormy Daniels. So I know he don't pay checks.
He ain't paying. Yep. He didn't even get paid. That's when you don't get paid, that's when you know you are not in his circle no more.
That man is good. If you can get somebody else to cut your checks and to do your prison time on your crimes, I mean, what more could you ask for?
This is like the 5th or 6th person who's going down based off of interaction with Trump.
He is like kryptonite.
He is.
Take it down.
He living his best life. He ain't gotta worry about it. He like the top gangster where he said, "All right, let me send one of my minions there to take the charge."
My boss. So what do you think they found in Giuliani's house? Seriously.
Some porn.
You think porn?
Yep, some porn.
So you think he was like, knock. This is the feds. Hold on a second. Zzz.
Yeah. Did you see?
I gotta zip my pants up.
Did you see Borat?
That's what I'm talking about.
Some porn.
Hold on, feds. I'll be there in a second. Zzz.
Some,
I was just zipping my
some
pants.
hoes.
No, they were kids. He thought they were kids. But he said not really. Allegedly thinking she was young.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying what allegedly what I'm saying that they found in his apartment is some hoes. Some
that he used those for gardening, the hose.
Well, what he used the cocaine for?
Well, that's flour. What are you talking about?
That's flour.
You don't know
well,
what
he
flour?
tested it.
You don't know what flour looks like?
He got a little on his.
He was baking.
All these things we're making up, yo.
He was baking.
We're making up all of these things.
He was baking when they showed up.
Was he?
I am just hoping and praying that he was absolutely not containing any evidence that's going to cause him to really face some serious federal time. They're going to find it.
The feds will find anything.
Oh, yeah, they will.
They'll find. Remember that check that you wrote back in 19?
We have evidence that we will be sharing with you in future episodes of what the feds was looking for. We can also tell you what they find because as soon as they're finished, they're going to tell us. Okay. So when his case goes forward and he's indicted and he tries his case and
they ain't going to find no hairstylist willing to comp to that hair drip. Yeah,
they find a dye. It's going to be all over the sink. So you know how he runs.
That's crazy.
Right now, we are going to issue the ruling.
Okay.
The ruling on that case, on the federal government executing its search warrant on home and office, is on the Rudy Giuliani, the lunatic. He gets the lunatic ruling because he really has gone from a hero to a zero.
Yes, he has. That's crazy.
How could you take such a great legal career and just ball it up?
How do you take such a great, he was in the history books and you threw it away for a man that maybe about 15, 20 years ago. I mean, it makes sense. He dressed up as a woman just to be down with the Trumpster.
That's horrible.
So he down for whatever.
All right. So on our rulings we have today,
yes.
Our first ruling was our Hypocrite Award for Amber. And she deserves it.
The sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry. Hugs don't mean I want to peel you. The second ruling was our Dumas Award that goes to the feds.
Yes.
For arresting Victor Hill for doing his job.
I will be having free Victor Hill t-shirts.
Coming out soon, wherever she is at, not where I'm at.
If you want one, leave a message in the comments. Free Victor Hill.
And our last court ruling for today is the Giuliani lunatic ruling.
Yes.
The gavel drops on all three.
He ain't gonna have to worry about no hair color.
That brings episode 2 to a close. But before we close, we're gonna talk about one more topic. Our Vice President, Kamala Harris. Did I say it right?
I don't think so.
Kamala Harris. That sound more right?
I think so. I mean, I've been calling her Kamala for a long time, but I have been told on several occasions that it's Kamala. It used to, like
it's Kamala.
See,
like Mamala.
Okay.
Kamala Mamala.
She was Kamala when she went to HBCU, Howard University.
To survive at HBCU, you better be a Kamala.
Because ain't nobody was calling her Kamala. They was calling her Kamala. Okay.
So let's talk about what's in the news on her this week. She made the statement that she was asked the question. Let's be fair to the vice president, with all respect due. She was asked the question, did she think that America's a racist country? And her response was
no.
And what's your take on her no?
I don't see her being any different from the DA who didn't have the integrity to take the case. For me, I don't think she had the integrity. I'm going to say it, the integrity to just lay it out on the line. Just say what it is. Let's not get caught up in the spin. Just say what America truly is.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Don't you think that she has to respect the office of the vice president and respond in a manner that people think is dignified?
Were you here for Trump the last 4 years? Why is it that we have to put on this?
We have to be dignified?
Yes.
And he could just be
run amok.
Wow.
Run amok. Like, say what it is. It just makes me not trust you.
So she should be able to go Kofifi?
If she wanted to. And be able to get a pass.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a ruling, a partial ruling. I'm going to give you a concurrence and a dissent at the same time. I concur with you in terms of being candid and being honest, because if we don't acknowledge the problem, we'll never be able to rectify the problem. So I agree with you as it pertains to saying that America's not a racist country. And what I would have preferred for her to do is clarify the question and say, I don't believe America's a racist country on a whole, but if you're talking about systemic racism, then I would have to disagree with you, because I do believe that there's systemic racism. And if you want to know where it is, I've come up with an acronym. It's called APS. There's active racism. Gun them down when they're running in the opposite direction and say you're in fear for your life. Law enforcement. There's passive racism, right? Mm-hmm. Feed the little white children at the daycare before you feed the little black ones. Did you see that? There was a photo of that here in Atlanta at a daycare where the children were fed, but the white ones were fed before the black ones were fed.
Right.
That's passive racism.
Right.
And then systemic racism. When you go to the emergency room, are you going to get care? When you're a black female and you're having your baby, are we going to make sure that you don't die in childbirth? Right. Those numbers are there. I didn't make them up.
Right.
So if you're writing, write them. Don't write me.
Right.
Okay. So is the insurance in your neighborhood higher because of your zip code?
That is true.
Is the water bill less because of your zip code?
Right.
Is the prices of your house more if you're in Dunwoody?
So, wait. You are agreeing with me. I don't understand. Where's the dissent?
The dissent is in the fact that she had to answer, yes, America's a racist country. She didn't have to answer, yes, America's a racist country. Because I absolutely don't believe everybody in America is a racist.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, either she's not talented enough to make a intellectual statement that reflects the times, or she don't have any integrity.
What if she didn't get chance to rehearse? And it's her integrity that caused her.
You just ran it off 2 seconds ago. I don't trust it. That's why I don't trust her. She a prosecutor, and I don't trust prosecutors.
Former prosecutor.
Not you. I'm talking about Kamala.
She was a former.
She is a former, but she's a prosecutor at heart.
Former prosecutor.
She never went to the. She never.
So are you saying that a person cannot be rehabilitated, that through their life experience and their education come to the realization that even as a prosecutor, some of the cases that she may have put forward are cases that today she probably would not in the face of new evidence? Because only a fool doesn't change their position in the face of new evidence.
That is true.
Can't you give her an opportunity to say, oh my goodness, you would be surprised how running for president enlightened me. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, you would be surprised as to how I had this position prior to becoming vice president. Right. And now my position has changed. And because it's just changing and evolving, we all evolve.
Well, but the thing is that we do evolve. But your history of what you said recently, like she's the same one who said like she doesn't believe in reparations.
She might change her mind. There's a lot of people who weren't on board for reparations before that are climbing that bus now.
I understand it, but that's what I'm saying. It's a difference between doing the research and making an opinion than to just say it like you don't think it should happen. And then when everybody's hopping on the bus and you're like, you know what? I need to get these votes, so let me change my position. And that's my thing with her and with Joe Biden. They're position changers based on the circumstances. But from even the time they've been in office, I haven't seen anything beneficial to black people, specifically when the black people are the ones who got you elected. I see bills for our Asian community. I see bills for our transgender community. And you know what I see for our community? I see we need to do a research project, and we need to tally up some numbers and take a check on the temperature. This is what I see. So that is why I feel like there's a lack of integrity when you say America is not a racist country, because I understand it's not a full racist country, but qualify your statement.
That's my point. That's where you get the concur.
Okay. And
That she should have qualified.
She agreed to everything.
I
else,
dissent.
too.
I dissent.
Word on the street.
So let me ask you a question. Right. Going back a little bit, rewinding, talking about evolution and evolving. Okay. Did you evolve after you went inside the Clayton County Jail? Didn't it change your perspective?
Let me say this.
You got to answer that question
yes,
first.
I have to qualify it.
So you evolved?
What I'm saying is this. There is the reasons that I went inside. I would have done the exact same thing for the reason why I went inside, which was nothing. I didn't do anything, but I was in there. So you can't change that. But the devil made me do it. Is that the difference? But my perspective of police officers did change, because initially I used to be like, just comply. All you gotta do is comply. Oh my gosh. But when somebody's arresting you, a comply is not in your head. It's fight or flight. It's what are you doing? It's why are you touching me? It's a natural reaction. So there's nothing when you get arrested for obstruction of justice, which is the most broadest thing ever.
But that's my point. Look how you had to have that experience to evolve. So can't
she's
the
a
vice president?
And she was a prosecutor. She went to HBCU. She went to an HBCU.
That's why you can't revoke. That's why you can't revoke her black card.
I wasn't gonna say it. I was getting there, but I didn't say it.
You can't revoke it.
I'm not. I wasn't gonna give it to her this time. I'm gonna give her a little bit more time before I try to snatch it away. But she went to a HBCU, right?
Right.
She has a Jamaican father. She went to a HBCU. She became a prosecutor. So she's going through this process. She's not Sally on the street. She became a senator. She became the vice president. She's been in places where she should know. She should know this. I ain't been there. I didn't go to Howard, and I know this. I knew about racism even prior to the police treating me a certain way. I would have never said that I don't think that the system treats certain people a different way. I would have answered that question differently, and she has more education than I do.
But you just said, I would have said, I will comply, just comply. And that one experience caused you to say, hold on a second now. Compliance is not as easy as people think.
I just think the comply is different, because comply is just, we've been taught from a childhood, like, the police are your neighbors. They're good helpers, and so you do what they say. And we're taught that in kindergarten. So my initial thing of police are good, and never had a bad experience. But I've never thought that there was not racism in America. I've never ever felt that I've never experienced it personally. But I've never felt...
But I think you're unfair, because the statement you just made said you never felt that there wasn't racism in America. That's not what she said. She said, I don't think America's a racist country. She didn't say, I don't think there's racism in America. And the interviewer did not...
Let the lawyer come out.
Elaborate.
Here comes the lawyer. You know what? I get that, but...
She never said there's not racism in America.
I know, but guess what? That Republican guy, Tim Scott, said the exact same thing, and everybody went crazy, and the Democrats were calling him an Uncle Tom and all this other stuff. They went in on him, and he said the exact same thing. So my thing is...
I wouldn't say exact. He said that my parents were married and then they divorced. And people were like, come on, man, be real. Be real.
She wasn't real.
Be real.
You know, I think you're giving her a pass.
I'm just saying that she's in a particular...
Okay, what if she was a white woman, and the white woman said... There's no racism in America.
Well, they're saying that.
They're saying a white woman.
And I would say that because of their experiences. Because if you never experienced it, until you experienced law enforcement from the perspective that everybody else was talking about, you said, why don't you comply? But you've changed that because you realize that compliance is not as easy as it seems when you're not in the situation.
But that's different than... I have never experienced racism. However, I know racism exists prior.
But she's never said that she doesn't believe racism exists.
I believe America's racist.
I don't believe America's a racist country.
Well, she gotta say that because she gotta get them votes.
But
Come on, let's just come on.
I agree with her.
Marsha.
At first,
Marsha. Okay.
I did not agree with her statement.
Okay.
But when I sat down and took the emotion
Oh my
out of it
gosh.
and started analyzing not just her statement, but
It was calculated. It was calculated.
context, the question, and did she have an opportunity to follow up on it? And did they just play a small clip, right? Like, what did she really say after that? Because they didn't play the entire interview. They only played that clip. And I wanted to make sure that wasn't a bait for me.
Okay.
Because you know they will do that. Let's call them fake news. They will put a clip out there.
Right.
And they don't give you the whole story.
Right.
Because they want you to latch on. And then when you latch on and all you're doing is this emotional, you're off to the races. You're down in that rabbit hole. And then when somebody says, have you watched the entire 5 minutes? Have you watched the 30 minutes? You kind of feel like, well, I still, like, if you're arrogant, I still feel like this is a racist country. I mean, I didn't know all of that. But even after watching all of that, she should have still said, America's a racist country.
Well, I know she can't
We
say.
know that the country is founded on racism.
Yes.
And I think she could have said that too. Had she been prepared for that question. Now, I gotta
She's
agree
an
with you
attorney.
that based on the fact that she's an attorney and the career path that she has taken
Yes.
and the family upbringing, that
was a
that shouldn't have been a
softball.
curveball for
You know
her.
what Maxine Waters would have said?
Girl, look at here. Please don't terrorize Auntie Maxine. Y'all need to come off Auntie Maxine.
She was like, hell yeah.
Give. I'm gonna need y'all to give Auntie Maxine a break. The evidence convicted Chauvin, not Auntie Maxine or any statements
No,
she made.
I understand
So
that,
I don't
but
want to give nobody no
listen,
raw meat
listen.
to travel down on.
All I'm saying is that it was either a calculated response. That's what I'm saying. It's a calculated response because it's about the voters and it's about who's going to vote for me. So I'm going to answer in a way where I can get votes in the future when I run for president, or so that people will accept me when Joe Biden resigns.
So
in
let
like
me
3
ask
more
you a
months.
question.
Yes.
If she's vice president, is she the vice president for the entire country?
That is correct.
White and black.
All day.
So, do you think that the white individuals that voted for her, that she needs to say, you're a racist?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
That's
that
my
she should
point.
have qualified the statement. Like you said, she should have qualified the statement. But to just blatantly say, because you covered, I'm about to dig in deep. You covered that base. But you know our bases. We gonna be down regardless. She black, I'm voting for her. We so down regardless that you can dismiss us when we know that I get what you're doing, but there's a way that you educate the masses, because that's why we put you in this position. And I put it on everything I love. If you was in that position, you would have took that question and educated the masses and wouldn't allow them to put a
Well, I would have turned the
soundbite.
questions around.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
I'd have turned the
She
question
can say, no, there's no racism in America, and get away with it because
No,
she's doing it
she
for
can
her.
say, I don't believe America's a racist country.
I don't believe America's a racist
that's
country.
what she said.
And her base that is not made up of black people are going to be like, yes, she feels us. But then the base that are made up of black people, she ain't worried about them because they're going to vote for her anyways. And that's what I'm saying.
Is that because we don't have any other choice?
We do have other choices.
What is that, Kafifi? Because that's what the choice was. Her or Kafifi.
The choice is for us to get activated and create a party that represents us, just like everybody else and all these other small groups have a party that represents them.
So we need a third party.
We do. Because
Okay.
let's think about this. The Democratic Party represents so many people. It's like if you have so many kids, somebody is not going to get the attention. If you have so many girlfriends, somebody's going to be left out. That's
I
why.
agree. I agree
You know
with
what I'm
that.
saying?
I agree
So
with
we're always the ones left out. You know why? Because we're the foundation, and they said the black people, they did not pull together, they don't gather together, they're not group together, they don't put their funds together, they don't do nothing together, so they're not gonna go nowhere, and they're gonna vote for us regardless.
I got that. But
Oh,
but
so
you know
do I
what?
get- Wait, hold on. Can we drink to that though? Yes.
No, she's gonna drink by herself on
I'm
that
gonna drink
one.
by myself. It is what it is.
I would not concur with her on that one. I think Vice President meant to clarify that. And sometimes, you know what, we give a little bit too much credit to people because they're an attorney. And here's what I mean by that. Right. Although she was a district attorney, you got to remember, a lot of times district attorneys don't try their own cases.
So they're not a prosecutor before.
Yeah, but being a prosecutor don't mean you try a lot of cases, especially if you're the head honcho. The head honcho, how many times you see a head honcho in any county, in any state, in the courtroom? They don't. They send little minions. Your assistant DA go try that case. Your assistant DA go try that case. A lot of times, only time you'll find a district attorney trying a case sometimes is when they're an attention grabber. They want this limelight. They know that there's media attention. So those cases they will try. Hello, I'll try the case if the media is there, but I'm not going to try the case. So majority of the time, the person getting the litigation experience is not the actual elected official. It's the people who they've appointed through assistant DA and chief assistant DA and stuff like that. So if the reason I'm saying that is because that would have been a non-curveball for somebody like me. Because I'm in the trenches.
You in the trenches.
If she were in the trenches.
Though. She in the Senate and they argue and debate all day long.
No. So
you saying she don't have the skill?
That's the television clip.
So you say she don't have the clip?
We see the clip. Most of the times they're all in their own office with their own staff.
Because I saw her. She grilled, oh boy.
Oh, no. She's good at that.
She grilled Kavanaugh.
Let me ask you a question, sir. Yeah, she's good at that. She definitely is good at that. But I think she can be good at that as a senator, but there's a certain role she has to play now. Because as a senator, she represents her constituents. Remember now, who's her support group? Her constituents. And she can say whatever she wants to say on behalf of her constituents so long as her constituents are in favor of that. But as vice president, you take on a bigger role. You are president for the Indian, the Asian, the LGBTQ, the African American,
but the blacks, because the blacks are always the one that get the short end of the sticks. We always get the short end of the sticks.
So that's episode 2, because of course we could go on all day long. But what we're not going to do is grill our African American female vice president. Not on Diva Court.
Not today. If she keep acting up, she gonna get slapped up.
I'm gonna need the gavel. Wait a minute.
She better come correct. Listen, that's what makes her a sister.
I'm gonna need you.
We have to hold her accountable. If one of us, you gonna pull my collar if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do.
Let me tell you something.
Because that's the culture.
When the accountability was implied or applied to Kofifi, then we can apply some to her. But since the last 4 years was without accountability, my vice president gets a pass.
Well, I'm not going to talk about her in mixed circles. I'm just going to talk to him on this channel. But
these circles are mixed for everybody. And everyone is welcome to Diva Court. So you tell us what you want to see. That concludes episode 2 of Diva Court.
And wait for episode number 3.
And episode number 3 is coming right behind it. And before we close, like we always say on Diva Court, we'll drink to that. We got to drink to that.